Get yourself cinched in because there's a ton to see on this episode of Venturing Out. We're going adventuring all over Delaware. We caught waves and some beers,
to Delaware,
history, and a one-of-a-kind festival. Get ready. This bad boy starts with a
professional adventurer on a road trip across the U.S. with the skills and passion to help anyone, even a newbie, overcome any challenge. This is Venturing Out, Park2Park.
I'm Raheim Robinson, avid adventurer, creative director from New York City. I'm in Delaware for the first time to see what this awesome state has to offer. I've heard Lum's Pond State Park is the perfect place to start. Joining me from Atlanta, Georgia is Tatiana Arrington, also her first time in Delaware, who's asked for my help stepping outside of her comfort zone. We're at Go 8 Zipline in Adventure Park, where we'll be testing out our balance by walking, swinging, and most importantly, flying through the treetops. Has no one else had their neck zipped as a kid but me? No one knows it's like a minute you zipping up your jacket and you're like, nah, my neck, just me?
I don't think so.
I gotta talk to my mom. I've gotta have a conversation with my mom about this. Like, I never thought I was alone until just now. Wow.
We've been here since 2013. The course is meant to get people a little bit outside of their comfort zone, trying out new things. I think it's a great way for people to learn like what their limits are, how to push them. It's a really nice place where people can kind of experience something they wouldn't typically do while also still being safe with like our staff. It really teaches people what they can really do. Whew. Some people kind of set the bar really low for themselves. They don't think they can do all these things, and they come out here, they crush it, they have a great time. And I think it sets them up to do something fun later in life, something a little bit more adventurous even maybe than this. So just putting your best foot out there, trusting really the people that are out here and bringing a good close friend with you to really try and do something new. It's not necessarily about being nervous or afraid, it's just about getting through that and getting to the end, I think.
All right, you're gonna move your trolley through onto the shuttle right here.
The shuttle.
Yeah. Awesome! Okay. Mom, I love you! Hold on, adjust your trolley line, and whenever you're ready.
Just holding on to this one here?
Yep, just that one. Also, guys, you just completed the ropes course. We've got one more surprise for you. Come this way.
I'm not crazy about surprise, but
I like surprises. I'm gonna attach your arm. Feeling excited? Yes. Awesome.
good luck.
Thanks.
Show me the ways.
It's about 50 feet up. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
All right. You don't want to do it? Just, okay.
I did adventure ropes course and a monkey drop at Go Ape.
Yeah, just getting a little bit outside your comfort zone. That's
100%, 100%.
Trying out some new things. What you guys think?
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing, but I think you're leaving out the part where we died a few times, crossing over those bridges.
Yeah.
With no steps, some were twisted. It was an adventure.
Yes.
There was definitely an adventure before the actual zip line that happened.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate the fact that we didn't know that was a part of it.
I agree.
Because that was a big surprise, and I'm not crazy about surprises, but I'm all about challenges, so
Yeah.
I powered through it. But yeah, this monkey drop was death in a basket.
Yes, it
but
was.
It was fun.
But yeah,
It
it
was
was fun. Cool. And I can tell my grandchildren about this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or they
yeah.
could just watch it.
We're in Wilmington, Delaware. Tatiana and I are headed to visit Lucas Clausen. He works at the Hagley Museum and Library, where E.I. DuPont founded a gunpowder manufacturing plant in 1802. Delaware surprised me. I've heard great things, and now I see why.
So what exactly in Hagley consisted of the factory?
It's everything around you.
Okay.
This is unusual for a factory because it's not all in one building.
Yeah.
It's spread out, and that's because they're making explosives here. That way, if one building blew up, you didn't blow the whole property up. So whenever you look at some of the buildings that are down on the river, they're made with a light roof, a light front, and they're aimed toward the river. That way, if there's an explosion, it blows it out into the river and not back up into the factory.
Oh.
The product they made here was called black powder.
Okay.
And it's made of charcoal, sulfur, and saltpeter, which is a salt with a lot of nitrogen in it. And you just mash it together under a lot of pressure. But you can do a lot of things with it. You can use it in firearms and cannons, or you can use it to do things like blow up rocks.
Mm-hmm.
So with all the factory buildings, part of the reason it's so spread out is that you can make a couple of different products throughout the factory. So they used it for a little bit of everything. That a majority of DuPont's sales during the 19th century were for mining, sort of coal mining,
Gotcha.
things like that.
Okay.
Okay.
But also stuff like cannons. They did a lot of government work, especially during the War of 1812, the American Civil War, stuff like that.
Cool.
Okay. So I think I heard someone mention a demonstration of some sort. We've been talking about cannons and gunpowder and explosives and light roofs. So does this demonstration consist of some sort of explosion, a cannon being like?
Well, of course, we wouldn't bring you to Hagley without shooting some black powder for you.
All right.
One of our favorite things is to shoot a little cannon called a signal gun.
Okay.
And it just makes a big bang, but it kind of gives you an idea of what black powder looks like and sounds like whenever it burns.
I don't know exactly what we're about to get into, but I trust you, so let's do it.
Great. I think you'll love it.
Which way do we go?
Right this way.
Let's do it.
Woo!
Now, wasn't that fun?
Yes.
That was intense. Okay, so let's start from the top. What was in there?
So it was just black powder.
Okay.
All that was in there was gunpowder.
Wow.
And you said something about toilet tissue. I did see something white floating to the air. That's what that was?
Yep, that's all it was. So
That's
to show you
intense.
how messy this can be, that's the residue that's
Oh,
left
wow.
over.
Okay.
So whenever it burns, especially on a humid day like today, you
Yeah.
can feel it. It's kind of greasy.
Oh yeah, it's just like grease
Yeah.
bottom of a car.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
that's what you're feeling is the salt.
Okay.
So salt will take in the moisture from the air
Yeah.
and make it feel kind of greasy. So whenever we're done with this, we have to scrub it out with soap and water. That way we can get the salt out
Each
and it
time.
doesn't rust each time.
Interesting. So there's a lot of maintenance that comes with this as well.
Absolutely.
So if this was this loud, a bigger cannon, like how crazy would that be?
The noise is not what gets you so much as concussion, just the force whenever it hits you.
Oh, okay.
So if this were a full-size cannon
Yeah.
and you were on the front of it, you were close to it, servicing it to shoot it, you have to leave your mouth open just a little bit because there's enough concussion it would knock your teeth out. So you have to be really
That's
careful when
insane.
you're around one of these shooting it.
Well, thank you for the demonstration,
Yes.
the education, and the tour.
We're glad that you came. Thanks for
Cool.
coming. Glad
Thank
that you
you
enjoyed
again.
it.
Thanks
This
for
was
having
this
us.
was intense but
Yeah.
amazing at the same time. I want to shoot it next time.
Absolutely.
Cool. Thanks.
Mhm.
I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, me too.
This was a nice breakaway.
For sure.
Yeah.
This feels very relaxing and
Okay. What else?
peaceful, zenful,
Yes.
serene.
Yes, I feel that. Was that your first time seeing gunpowder explode
Yes.
out of a cannon?
Absolutely. I never seen anything like that before. You like read about it in history books in class and
Yep.
stuff like that, but to actually see like, oh, that was used in
Yeah.
war was very cool.
Yeah, it was intense. I didn't know what to expect, but it is
Yeah.
nice to meet with a professional who deals with those. And he
Right.
said he does that as a hobby as well.
And that was the small
competitively.
one,
Yeah.
so I can only imagine what a giant one sounds like.
Yeah. Oh, Delaware, you have some surprises.
Indeed.
I've always wanted to drive on the beach. So when I got the chance, I jumped on it. And no surprise, these BF Goodrich tires perform like magic. I breezed through the sand and never even thought about getting stuck. I've got traction for days. We're driving out to Brandywine Creek State Park, which is 3 miles outside of Wilmington, Delaware. It has more than 14 miles of trails inside its massive 933 acres. Overseeing 4 nature preserves, historically, this land was used for agriculture and milling. I understand there's a ton of things to do here and see, so we're meeting up with Sean Heacock, who works with the Delaware State Park system. For someone who's never been to Delaware before and is considering coming here, what do they do?
Specifically in this park, we have a lot of mountain biking. We have access to about 19 miles of trails within the park.
Okay.
And then there's an adjacent national park to us, which extends our trail network out to about 40 miles of single track trails for mountain biking. We have hiking in nature for birding, photography, you name it. If you want to be alone out in the forest, this is a place you can do it. And then Brandywine Creek, so people are coming here to kayak and canoe and enjoy the time on the Brandywine Creek.
Nice. It sounds like amazing fun. All this sightseeing has been incredible, but Tatiana and I are pretty parched. So we're cruising out to have a cold one at Wilmington Brew Works. This is an architectural landmark and the only production brewery in the city. Let's find out more about the legacy of this building and the commitment the owners have to this community.
Hi, welcome to Wilmington Brew Works. I'm
How's it
John.
going? Raheim.
Tatiana.
Good to
Raheim.
meet you.
Nice
Yeah,
to meet
thanks
you.
for having us.
Come have a seat.
Thank you. So what are we tasting today?
So we got a couple beers lined up for you. I hear you like something sweet, so I have a blueberry cheesecake sour. It's a milkshake sour. It's made with some lactose. Really
I want that.
fantastic. For you, I've got something that's made for athletes. I have a Radler. It's a mix of our Helles lager and lemonade, and it was invented by German cyclists, and it's fantastic.
Very
Sounds
And
like
for
it's
me,
right
I've got a Northeast IPA. All right, I'll be right back.
Nice. All right.
Sounds perfect. Thank you.
Cheers, right?
To Delaware.
All right.
Delaware.
This is so good.
Glad you like it.
This is really good.
So what can you tell us about this place?
We just celebrated our 3rd birthday here at Wilmington Brew Works, but this building is over 100 years old. I heard you guys went to DuPont Hagley earlier.
Yeah.
We did.
This building was opened by a DuPont, by Francis DuPont. He was the first director of the experimental station, and then what this place became was the Delaware Chemical Engineering Company. And it was then an electroplating facility. And then it was in a state of disrepair for about 20 years until we came in and fixed it up with the help of our landlord. And we really like what we've built here, a nice community hub.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Thank you for having us.
Also with Hagley, we recently did a cider with them where we're using fruit from their orchard, trying to recreate some of the historic ciders that they made on site, 200 years ago, which is really kind of fun for us.
That's so cool. I love ciders. What about you?
Like a good cider.
Yeah.
But we're actually the only place in the state that is both a brewery and a cidery. We have a license that allows us to make both.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
All right.
Can I take some of this home?
Hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you.
This is cool.
Yes.
Anytime. We're glad you guys came in.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Welcome to Delaware.
All right.
Since it's such a short drive from Wilmington, I'm taking a quick detour to Delaware Seashore State Park to check out its 6 miles of ocean and 20 miles of bay shoreline. I hear it's a major attraction and a must-see if you're in Delaware. Hey,
How are you?
good. How's it going?
Pretty good.
Raheim.
Brian,
Nice to meet you. Is this for me?
This is for you.
Okay.
I got a wetsuit for you.
I was gonna say I don't have a wetsuit, and I don't think I can get in the water with this.
We got you covered. The hardest part of our whole experience today
Okay.
is getting you into this bad boy.
Okay.
Biggest trick with the wetsuit,
Okay.
the zipper goes in the back.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Have you done it before?
I've done it once before in Costa Rica a very long time ago.
All right, we're gonna see if we can make this even easier than that experience.
I'm ready for it.
Hard part first.
All right, I'm going to do the hard part.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. The beach we're walking to is actually an inlet that connects the Indian River and the Atlantic Ocean. It's also the epicenter of the park's many different activities.
So lay down on that thing. It's got a black line which shows you ultimately where the center is.
Where should my chin land?
So you're right about in the right spot now, right?
Okay.
So if you look at that little logo, you can kind of see where you're going.
Okay.
I might move you forward or back a little bit, but I'll do that in the water.
Okay.
The biggest trick with taking adults out in the water is making them go slower than you think. There's really not a rush.
Okay.
Give it a shot like 2 or 3 times here.
Okay.
So
So pop
ready?
right up into it.
Go for it. Ready? Stand up. There you go. Perfect. So notice you land
A little
over here.
further back.
You land there. You fall this way. You
Got
land
it.
there. You fall that way. You
So
land
I'm gonna
on that
land in the
black
middle.
line. You got it.
So go for the black line.
Yep. Try it like 3 more times here.
Okay.
This is how you want to figure out how to do this, is on the
Okay.
beach versus in the water.
Okay.
So you're laying down, take your time, go for it. There you go. Nice and gentle. And then once you're there, stand all the way, like stand
all
up.
the way up?
Yep.
Okay.
Ready? Stand up. There you go. And then all the way up. And you're good. Cool.
Okay.
If your feet are a little more square, theoretically, it's gonna give you some more balance on the board.
Okay.
But there's not an exact rule of thumb, like your foot does not have to be at an exact angle.
Okay.
I've got to figure out what's the most comfortable for you.
Got
in
it.
the water. Try it one more time, and nice and slow, nice and relaxed, nice and gentle. Go for it. Perfect. Even better. And your back foot, like,
Does that need to come up too?
it can just follow you.
Drag?
Back
All right,
up.
I'll go one more
Yeah.
time.
All right, ready? Go
Yep.
for it. There you go. Perfect. You land there, you do that there in the water. I got you covered.
Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna get you up like 2 times on this, and then we'll switch boards.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't know what it was going to be like to get back in the water after so many years back up on a board, and just being one with the water is calming. You know, as loud as the waves are as they break coming towards shore, they're not subtle at all, but at the same time it's really calming. The challenge is something different, to be able to not just learn to balance yourself on a board, but to be able to balance on the board while the wave is behind you. You can't see how big the wave is that's behind you, but you know you've got to get up on your board and you got to find that balance. You got to get your feet in the right spot so that you can catch that wave at the right moment and make sure that you're not tumbling over. But I would suggest for anyone considering surfing that, you know, has never skateboarded before or longboarded or done anything on an actual board, Start by just standing up on one leg and balancing, like those silly exercises we used to do in gym class. Standing up on one leg and balancing and engaging your core sounds and looks silly, but it's super helpful. But doing something as simple as this can help with keeping your core engaged and working on your balance throughout your entire lower body. And I think that doing silly stuff like this is what allowed me to stay up on that board as many times as I was able to stay up on the board. Even though I did fall, I was able to balance myself. And I definitely want to give that to my stretching as well as my silly balance routine.
Man, it's good to be back on the board. Feels like I never stopped boarding. At least I don't think so. Brian and I had a great time, but now it's time to dance in some fire. Next stop, of course, the Firefly Music Festival in Dover, Delaware.
I made it. I'm here. I'm at Firefly Festival, the largest camping music festival on the East Coast. I didn't believe it when I heard it until I saw all of this. This is insane. 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 full days of music, 50,000 plus people. It's insane. I don't understand how this was even put together. Kudos to the production people, but we're here and now I'm at a music festival. What better way to end a long trip?
I just wanna dance it up.
We're gonna have a good time.
Don't really have a reason why, but I don't even have to try. This feeling is here to stay. Let's keep it going all night. Don't stop till we see sunlight. We've been drinking all that cheap wine all night, acting stupid, but it feels so right. I know that we will all be just fine, but tonight
Music is always better live, and I'm still alive, so why not?
I just wanna dance it up.
Delaware surprised me. I've heard great things, and now I see why. With almost 2,000 miles of outdoor adventure, the opportunity for challenge is endless. And everyone I met with was so warm and welcoming. It was truly a breath of fresh air to be here in Delaware. I'll definitely be back. That's if I actually decide to leave Delaware. I guess you'll have to just wait and see what happens next. Until then.
I just wanna